Okay, so we're going to close off with some expectations, and we've left some time for just you to play around with your site and then ask us questions at the end of the day. But we basically covered all the stuff that we really wanted to cover. So what are the expectations going forward? And I've divided it into two groups. First, what do we expect from you? Because this is really a train the trainer type thing, that you're going to be able to go back to your schools and help the rest of the staff learn how to use some of this stuff. Now, do you have to personally do all the training of your staff? No, because we do have a lot of these sessions recorded, as we're doing now. And these sessions, as we record them, they'll be put out eventually on YouTube. And it'll be the same YouTube location that we told you about before. And you can just have them go out and watch. And only if they have questions do they need to come and ask. So just make sure that they know that these sessions are available and they should go out and watch it before they start asking a bunch of questions about how to do something. We also expect that you're going to begin working, when I say you, I mean you and anybody else going to be involved in this, that you'll begin working on your school collaboration site so that it will be ready by the start of the 2014-2015 school year. Now you guys have a very early start because you're starting in January. So you got a lot of time. And so with a lot of time comes a lot of expectations. So we're expecting a whole lot more from people who come early because you're going to have time to look at stuff. You're going to have time. What?
It's open now.
Yes.
Our staff members can look at it.
Yes. And you can start building things. And then as you come up with ideas, things that you want to build, if you're not sure how to do it, come to the open labs and you got plenty of time to build stuff. But we do expect that all of these are going to be up and running by the start of the school year. And along with that, your old WSS servers go away.
We want to have it as soon as possible. Now, when we say moving stuff over, don't bring it to the kitchen sink. Think of this as your spring cleaning. Don't bring over anything that you don't need for the school year. Archive everything else. Because once you're done and the WSS site is deleted, everything's gone. So you have your whatever data documents that you want to archive them off to some other media, whether it's a different hard drive, to external DVD, a separate external drive. Do that, but make sure that you get everything off that you want. But only bring over what you need for the current year, because you don't want to do a data jump. Just dump everything over because one, it will take hours, and two, you don't need it. If you haven't used the document in the 2 years, don't bring it over. That's what we
It's
do.
one of the key reasons that we transitioned to school collaboration off of SharePoint is that you'll have access from home.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons. The other is that we will make sure that you're on the most current release, which wasn't always the case at all the schools. We'll also make sure that backups are done on a regular basis, which wasn't always true at all the schools. And it also saves a tremendous amount of money when you consider that we're running on maybe 6 servers, what used to take 180 plus servers. So buying servers across all the schools is expensive. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to throw away the server. Now it can be repurposed for something else, but it's not being used for this. And typically at most schools, they had a separate server dedicated just for WSS. So this basically frees that server up, that they don't have to buy another server for another purpose. And you will never have to worry about replacing this one again because we're running all of it. And plus our search engine will search your stuff too once it's up there. And our search engine is extremely powerful right now with 2013. So it'll make it finding stuff on your site once it's out there much easier as well.
So it's all permissions based. So you could be on your school website, so the outward facing site, type in search for a document that you have on your internal SharePoint site and it will find you. As long as you have permissions, you can see it. So like if I do a search with my credentials on OCPS's, I can pretty much, it will find anything out there. Yours will be different. It'll be because you don't have access to a lot of the things. But that's what I'm saying. Search is that good.
So the search results are even filtered non-user.
It's
Yes.
Not that I'll see it, but I just can't get it.
You won't see it.
You won't even see it. So for instance, someone on the outside that's not related to the schools at all.
They only see what's available to the public.
Right.
Now, from home, you cannot edit.
Yes, you can edit.
Oh, you can. The
Yes.
same thing that I would be doing
Yes,
here or in
it's
school,
no
I do
different.
from
Yes.
home.
It is no different. You can even, remember we told you earlier about we have Office web apps installed. So even if they don't have Office at home on their home computer, they can open, edit their Word, Excel, PowerPoint documents right in the browser. So all they have to do is make sure they log in correctly, because that's the biggest problem that I've had in the first wave. I can't get in from home. I don't know why. I'm following instructions. Well, it's all because they're not using the OCPS domain. So the username is going to be OCPS/personnel number. If they don't do that OCPS, especially on those newer computers that are running Windows 7 and Windows 8, they auto-fill in the domain, and when you're doing it in your own house, the domain is your computer name.
Mhm.
That has no permissions in the network. So make
Start
sure they
shutting
explain
down
it, and
and
it's
go
in the
downstairs and
PowerPoints that we
transfer
talked
the
about.
No, I still want to do the
ones I showed you
expectations.
earlier about
There's
logging
the
in.
expectations.
And again, so make sure that you are telling your teachers to log in using their password. It must be OCPS/personnel number. That's very, very important.
And if they're using a Mac at home,
It'll still work.
it'll work, they need to do that also.
Yes.
That window will drop down.
Correct.
Right. But no problem editing from a Mac.
Either.
No, or the tablet.
No,
Right.
because again, because it's web-based.
Yeah.
Now, if you're using a tablet, I really recommend a separate, keyboard.
Yes.
But still,
But it's there.
It can be done.
It works. Yep.
yeah.
Can be done.
So,
That's really good.
I mean, the good and the bad is that you do have access from anywhere. The bad is that you have access from anywhere.
Now-
So your principal could contact you and say, on vacation, while you're on vacation, make this change, because you can.
Now, also know, I don't know what version of Office you have at your school.
We have at least 2010.
Now, is all your Macs, are they running dual boot mode? Are they running VMs? Or are they just strictly running Windows? Or Macs?
Just strictly running Mac except for the game lab.
2011 Office.
Whatever the last version was.
2011.
Yes.
Now, I'll have to double check on the Mac version. I know on PC, with at least Windows or Office 2010, people can be working on the same document at the same time. So they can collaborate, and as long as they're not working in the same paragraph in Word or the same cell in Excel, they can actually be working in the same and collaborating on documents at the same time. Now, I don't know that if it's going to work out the same way on the Mac. I don't know. I haven't tested it.
Well, if they use the web app though.
Web app would be fine, yes.
As long as they're using Office web apps and not actually downloading it, editing locally, it will work, and it does allow multiple
Correct.
people.
Yes. And I definitely recommend using Office web apps for that kind of collaboration over the application any day.
Yeah, because I can't think of anything that really fancy they're going to want to do on a collaboration.
Correct. So what's nice is you have your administrators, your principal is at a meeting at the ELC. They need to collaborate with their AP at school. They can work on a document at the same time, one here, one there, without a problem.
Let's finish going through these because he wants to pull the card from the camera. So other things that we expect from you, and we'll come back to this then once we go through this, because we do have time. It's just that he wants to be able to pull the card out of the camera and download a copy. Other things that we expect from you, that you'll be open to collaboration from other schools, like Doug. He mentioned that he would talk to other schools if they have questions about stuff that he's done. That you would also be open to other schools possibly asking, how did you do this, or how did you do that? Or maybe even collaboration between schools. Ocoee Middle School might want to collaborate with Ocoee High School, for instance. So you might have certain parts of your site open to both. And that's when we were talking about before having subsites and having custom permissions. That's where that comes into play. Because you might not give them access to everything, but you would have maybe a subsite specifically for collaboration with one of the other schools. Okay? So that's where that comes in. And we're interested in hearing about stories from some of the schools and how that works out. We also expect that your school collaboration site will become the go-to place for all your staff. In other words, the home page when they turn on their computer. And they can share their successes, questions, tips, hints, anything they want to know about what's going on in the school, what they should know about what's going on in their classrooms or activities. Everything comes from this collaboration site. No other source. You don't need another source. You can get everything from here. Now, what you can expect from us, we'll continue to provide monthly open labs. We do them every month. Some months we don't have anyone here. Last month was pretty empty. So January is pretty empty. I should say this month was pretty empty. I don't know what February will be like. So just come to the open labs if you get the chance and you have some questions. We will create videos like we're doing this one where we do the class, but we have other videos as well. We have videos that are 5 minutes or less on specific topics, on how to do certain specific things. Go out and review those. Any new staff that you get, make sure they go through the videos first before they start messing with the collaboration site. We cannot enforce that, but you guys at the school can. Since we have videos that cover everything we did today, maybe one of their first days when they're at the school, one of the things that you tell them that they have to do within the first week is go through one of the class videos and learn how collaboration is supposed to work at the school. But again, that's up to you how you want to do it. You can also expect us that we will back up your data daily with full backups at least once a week and incrementals in between, so that if something goes wrong, we can recover back to where you were. We're already doing that with Wave 1. Wave 2 will start officially as your sites are getting data in. So as soon as they're built out, I guess, they can become part of the backup process. So anything you did today will be backed up, in other words. That the servers will be maintained with cumulative updates, service packs, and patches on a regular basis. Does that mean we put every service pack on, every cumulative update, every patch? No. We put them on as needed if there's something that that particular service pack or cumulative update fixes. Now, generally speaking, service packs are more reliable than cumulative updates. Cumulative updates come out roughly once a month for both SQL Server and SharePoint. Patches could be anytime, really literally anytime. And service packs come out infrequently. There might only be 3 to 4 service packs for a product version. So for 2012 or 2013 SharePoint, there might only be 3 service packs in its life. But the cumulative updates come out once a month. Now, we do have some sites that we watch and people who post problems with service packs, cumulative updates, and patches. And if we see that there's problems, we will not install. We wait to find out. We'll wait a week or two to see if there's any initial response. Service packs, like I say, are more thoroughly tested from Microsoft before they come out. Cumulative updates, they're kind of flaky. There have been times when they really mess things up. So we're reluctant to put in a cumulative update unless we know it fixes something that is really broken now. A good example is this past year we had a problem with people whose last names had an apostrophe, that it wouldn't give them permission to do things. And what we found out, well, at first we didn't know what the problem was. We narrowed it down to that apostrophe. And we contacted Microsoft, and of course at first they didn't want to believe us. But they finally came back and admitted it was their problem. And it became part of the cumulative update of August. So we contributed to August's cumulative update because of something that we found. So you let us know what you find. It may take a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months to narrow it down, get Microsoft to look at it and get it into a service pack or a cumulative update. But sometimes that's really our only choice. So that's the types of stuff you can expect from us. Any questions, as soon as we turn off the camera, we'll let you ask questions. So yeah, if you're totally confused at this point, because we threw a lot of stuff at you today, that's probably the way you might feel. Other than that, you can either go home or you can stay and ask us questions. Thank you for coming.